Hey guys, okay, so last time I'm gonna film this. This is gonna be a sort of substitute July TBR. I got some library books recently, and that always tends to throw a monkey wrench in my plans for my TBR videos, or for what I'm planning on reading. So yeah, I decided to refilm a TBR with the new stuff. And basically, you just have to ignore my TBR from before, although I am still reading some of those books. And I tried to film this before where I included the summaries of some of the books that I'm gonna read, because some of them, I haven't done a haul for them, so I figured I would just include the summaries of them here. But then this video ended up being 20 minutes long, and I just put up a 20-minute long review of North and South, so I figured you guys are probably tired of long videos. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm just going to give you guys the titles and the author, and then if you guys want the summaries, I will give them to you down below if you request them. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and let's get started. Okay, so what I'm currently reading, I just started The Light Fantastic a little bit ago, and it is the sequel to Color of Magic, the direct sequel. They are probably the only two Discworld books that people who have read Discworld before say you definitely need to read them together, because they are described as being one book cut into two. Because basically Color of Magic was an intro to the Discworld world, but it didn't really have a plot, and when Terry Pratchett realized this, he wrote The Light Fantastic to kind of make up for that and make a little sequel for it. I'm really enjoying this so far. As you guys can see, I've already tabbed some, and I'm hoping to finish this by a little bit later tonight so that I can start on the third one. So yeah, loving this. And then, yep, the third one is Equal Rights, and this is the first standalone, I guess, because there are a few standalone Discworld novels that don't really belong in any of the sub-branches of Discworld, so this is considered the first one, and basically it's just about the first female wizard in Discworld, so yeah, I'm just really looking forward to that, because apparently the first female wizard makes all the guy wizards pretty pissed, so that'll be fun to read. And then I want to read Mort. This is the fourth Discworld book, and it's the first one where Death has a starring role, and I love Death. If you guys, that's a funny statement, but if you guys saw my Hogfather review, Death and his granddaughter Susan are probably my favorite Discworld characters so far, and I really don't think that's going to change. It might once I start reading the witch books, but so far Death and Susan are my favorites, and I really don't see that changing. And this is the one where Death gets an apprentice named Mort, which is punny. And then, oh dear, I kind of messed these up, hang on. Okay, I'm back, sorry. And then we have The Winner's Crime by Marie Rutkowski, and this is the sequel to Winner's Curse, which I really loved, so I wanted to pick up the sequel. And then we have The Wrath and the Dawn, which is a retelling of the 1001 Nights fairy tale, and this will be really interesting to read because I have never read the 1001 Nights fairy tale, so this will be my first introduction to it as, well, and it will be as a retelling, so that'll be quite interesting. But yeah, I actually found this on a list that was published by a publishing company that I saw on my Facebook feed, where they were talking about, hey, if you really like this show and you're sad that it's over for the summer, you should read this book to keep you occupied in the meantime. And this was the book counterpart of Once Upon a Time. So I was very excited about that, and I was like, yes, because I miss me some Once Upon a Time, and I need some fairy tale retellings in my life. And then we have The Crane Wife by Patrick Ness. And this is just the one of his that sounded the most interesting to me. And if I like it, then I will probably pick up the one that he has coming out later this year, because it's about sidekicks being main characters. And this, I don't really know how to describe this without reading the synopsis, and unfortunately I don't have time for that. But yeah, just link a comment if you want to know the synopsis of this one or any of the others. And then we have Spellbound by Rachel Hawkins. This is the third book in the Hex Hall trilogy, and I just recently finished Demon Glass, and I sped through that thing. I started it at 10 o'clock at night and finished it at 4 in the morning, and I could not put it down, and it was amazing. And I think I tried to film a review of it, but then that didn't end up, I think I accidentally deleted it, so I'm just gonna wait, and I'm gonna do a double review of Demon Glass and Spellbound. So yes, I'm looking forward to seeing how this trilogy ends. And then we have The Love Song of Queenie Hennessy by Rachel Joyce, which is the companion novel to The Unlikely Pilgrimage of Harold Fry. And in Unlikely Pilgrimage, we find out within the first chapter that, very sadly, Queenie is dying of cancer, and Harold decides to walk to see her, because he has this idea that as long as he walks, she will stay alive, and it's a really sweet idea, and the book is incredibly sad, and it really actually helped me. It was very therapeutic for me because I started reading it like 2 months after my grandfather died, and I was listening to the Jim Broadbent audiobook while I was reading my physical copy, and somehow Jim Broadbent's specific portrayal of Harold really reminded me of my grandfather, and instead of making me sadder, it actually really helped. So then when I found out that she was coming out with this, I was incredibly excited. This is the companion story, and it's Queenie's point of view, and I don't know if it starts when she's diagnosed with cancer, or if it starts when she and Harold are younger, when they're working together. But either way, if this is half as good as Unlikely Pilgrimage, then I will love it, and either way I will need some tissues. And then we have Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell by Susanna Clark. This was one of the ones that was originally on my TBR for this month, and this is due back to the library in like 2 weeks, and I really want to read the book so that I can marathon the TV show. So yeah, really looking forward to this. I did already start it, but I think I'm gonna start it over, because I think I only got like 50 pages in, and I only remember a little bit. So yeah, I'm gonna start this over. And then Mansfield Park by Jane Austen, another one that I'm pretty sure was on my original list for this month. I recently started watching the web series From Mansfield with Love, and it really gave me an entirely new perspective on this story. This is the one Jane Austen story that I really never liked growing up. I saw both versions of the film when I think I saw the original like a year after it came out, and by original I mean the 99 one, because there were probably ones before that, but I saw the 99 one maybe a year after it came out, and I really liked the acting, but not the story. And then when I was in college, I saw the Billie Piper version, and same thing happened. I enjoyed the acting, but really didn't like the story. And then when we read it in my Austen class, I really just skimmed it, because I was like, I already know that I don't like the story, why would I enjoy the book? And now, having seen from Mansfield with Love, A, I'm older, and B, I've gone through a few things now where all of this combined together really makes me have a different opinion and view of Fanny Price. It really makes me identify with her character a lot more, based on the last few years, and I don't really know why, but I just like her so much more now, and I understand her so much better, and especially because the acting in from Mansfield with Love and the modernization of all these characters is so incredibly well done. And I'm not saying that it wasn't in the films, because like I said, the acting was the main part that I liked about the films, but somehow it's just different now, and so I'm really excited to go back and actually reread Mansfield Park and hopefully have a much different opinion of it than I did 4 or 5 years ago. So, yes. And then I only have 2 more, I promise. If I can find it. Where'd it go? Oh. Okay, one of these I don't actually have yet because I have yet to pick it up from the library, but it is Sorcery, which is the 5th Discworld novel, and it is the 3rd, it's the 3rd one in the Rinse cycle, which is the Rincewind branch of Discworld, and I'm really looking forward to that one. And then I'm going to read Weird Sisters after that, which is the 6th book, and it is the 1st book in the Witches branch of Discworld, and this is a direct parody of Macbeth, and so I'm very excited about it. And I actually started the first 60 or so pages of this like 2 years ago, but then I decided to read the Discworld books in order, and then I completely chucked that idea and read Hogfather last Christmas, and I loved Hogfather, and I'm so glad that it was my first full Discworld book, and this time I am actually reading them in order, so I'm very excited to start this over and get all the way through it, and I was thoroughly enjoying what I read the first time, so I'll be excited to actually finish it this time. So yeah, those are the books that I'm planning on finishing in the rest of the month, and I don't know if I can finish all of them, but I'm really hoping that I can. It's sort of ambitious, but we'll see. I have been in a serious reading mood recently, where I haven't really felt like watching much TV, so hopefully I will be able to get a lot of these finished. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please let me know if you have read any of these and what you think, just without spoilers if you don't mind, and I will see you guys later. Bye.